E kairapi reo roa a Tipene, e whae nei ki te whakamaori anō i te Māori mā te mauri o te wāta. Nā tōna rongo maiwhiti o nā kaupapa me te marutuna o tōna reo kua āhei ia ki te mahitahi i ētahi o ngā tino kaiwaiata o Aotearoa. Pēnei ia Troy Kingi, Macy Rika, Scribe me Sheifu. Kua whakareohia e Tipene ngā kohinga waiata e rua, ko tautoko i te taurua mano te kau mā iwa, ko Heritage Trail i te taurua mano rua te kau mātahi. Me te aha, kua neke atu i te tekau mātahi miriona, ngā whakarongotanga i ngā pai matihiko. E te iwi, ko Tipene tēnei, ki runga o Lifted.
Tēnā koe brother Tipene, as always my bro, good to see you, good to catch up. Usually in a different setting, stages, gigs, usually, that kind of thing. Yeah. But now, catching up here on a different kaupapa, digging into your musical journey. But pātai tuatahi bro, ko ai koe, nohea koe.
Kia ora anō, ako Tipene hā mā hau, tūri o Ngāti Kahungunu ki here taunga, so Hawke's Bay is home bro, Flaxmere, Hastings, also my nanny's from Ngāti Porotū, and te taha toko matua, te tai tokiro Ngāti Kahu in the far north.
And tell me bro, how did your musical journey begin?
Parties probably, yeah. There was always, our house was the party house. But the guitars, but for me, when it really started clicking was probably kapahaka bro. Kapahaka was something that scared me because, didn't grow up with the real Māori and, you got a chance to poke your tongue out, so I was in there, I was like, oh. Yeah, and I enjoyed waiata and, the whanaungatanga that comes with it, so I think that's where it started, anything to do with stage used to freak me out, still does a little bit. But I think, when you lose sight of that fear or that anxiety to want to do well, you should probably do something else.
And was it rap to begin with, bro? Or was it more singing?
I think it was the old R&B, so like the rhythm and blues stuff. Dad had a mean sound system, probably was the meanest one on the streets anyway that we knew of. And he had probably the first CD player I'd ever seen. We weren't allowed to touch it. But, he used to play music, with a lot of bass. I think that's the thing that when you hear a cool bass line, you're like, oh man, even still now, if you hear a cool bass line, when you know what the song is, it's just like, you hear there, boom, boom, boom. Welcome to Amarai, it's our Turanga Wai. It's the place where I'm from, the place I belong, the place where my ancestors roam. Welcome to Amarai.
And for me, bro, you're a prolific lyricist. I love your lyrics, bro. I love what you write about. I love how real and raw they are. Where does that come from for you, bro? Your ability to write and string words together cleverly.
Our tupuna. The more I learned about our tupuna, like things like kai kōrero. Actually, I was called that by one of our koro on the marae, he said some of it was a bit fast, but you can see that you have a kaupapa. He's not even, doesn't even like hip hop. I think he might now. Everyone's got a story that I think should be shared, figuring out ways that you could articulate that just the same way our tipuna did, and that's why we know who we are,
And speaking of story, one of your bigger tunes, West Side Hori, is your story. Bro, can you take me back to the birth of that song?
Flaxmere, bro, for me, there were some hard times, but they don't outshine the good times, they don't outshine the lessons, they don't outshine the things that carve our character. So, for me, I really wanted to honour everyone that, had a hand in bringing us up, bro. I've got 13 brothers and sisters, big whānau, and we weren't together all the time. A lot of my uncles and my aunties who weren't actually blood-related uncles and aunties, it's the village that contributed. So, I was thinking, how do I honour them as well as, you know, tell the truth. Flaxmere gets a lot of, bad press, so to speak. But the people in there are gold, you know. The people in those places, or any place like Flaxmere, you'll find that there are some mean kaitiaki within those places. And I was fortunate enough to be around a lot of them. Bit of a story behind that name, you know, West Side. It's East Coast, so everyone's like, why are you saying West Side? It's so if you know about Hastings, there's a railway track that runs right through the middle of town. And back in the rugby days, well, still now, there's this competition called the Ross Shield. And if you're on that side of the tracks, you're the west side. And if you're on this side, then you're the east side. So we were on the west. Whole Flaxmere is knowing as the western suburbs. Horty was my nickname growing up. So, you know, George translates to Horty. So, you know. But yeah, that nickname came from my dad. And it just stuck, you know. People, you know, think it's Hori as and, you know, it's not no fellow that talks half cut English. It's not actually about that at all. It's George that grew up on the west side. When you get comfortable, you get lazy. I know I do. If I get comfortable, I'm like, you know, do it tomorrow. I definitely think the whānau are ready for a challenge.
Sort of. Something like Aotearoa, this a place I'm from. Rangi Aotea, it's my Tipene home. We all descend from Kupe, and you can hear this in our native tongue. Our people celebrate our culture hard.
And in terms of production, bro, like that guitar hook or loop or whatever you want to call it, that's killer, bro. So what came first? Did you have the beat first and then you put lyrics on top, or and who made that beat actually?
So credits to Juice. Juice was responsible for the early MTC Smash Proof stuff, Sid's early journey. Juice is a big part of that. I started with the last verse because I was wanting to just dig straight in and you know, and tell the truth and spill the truth. So I rang up Juice and I said, hey bro, I've written a song. And he was like, oh yeah, seen it through. Yeah, and he instantly called me and it was just like, bro, we've got to record this properly, because I just kind of wrapped it over. I can't even remember what rugged is.
We go to school with no lunch and no shoes. Nobody turning up to parent interviews. Nobody on the sideline on Saturdays. Both of them would say, oh boy, I didn't even know.
But when I listened back to it, it kind of made me a little bit pody, and I was like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm going for that feel. Cool story about it, bro. My dad, you know, my hero in that song, he doesn't sound like a hero. You know, I talked about how he was never around and he kicked mum out of the house and all those kinds of things. But that was me as a little fella growing up. You know, obviously I know a lot better now. You know, as parents, we're just doing our best, you know, and sometimes things don't always work out. He was the first one that heard the song when it was finished. And I said, Dad, I got this new song and I want you to know that I love you. And he was like, oh yeah, this sounds starting to get nervous now. You love me?
What have you said?
I was like, yeah, well, what's the song about? And I said, I just told him a little bit. And I played it to him. And I actually got so nervous I didn't stick around for the feedback. I just took off. Oh, man. And I was probably the most nervous I've ever been, as an adult anyway. And he said, oh, look, I heard your song. I listened to your song. I was like, oh, yeah. And he said, I can see what you're trying to do. I think it's a good thing. Is that on the radio yet? And I was like, oh, nah, well, you're the first one to hear it. But I wasn't going to do anything without his blessing, you know, because we're real close. For me, it was just showing him, you know, giving him that courtesy and just saying, you know, if he didn't like it, it would have been easy for me, bro. I would have said, oh, no, come on. Yeah. He actually got quite emotional and he said sorry, you know, for not being around. And I was like, oh, Dad, no, that's not how I feel now. I know you're doing your best, and to all the parents out there doing their best, you know.
In the streets we would kick it.
cricket. Worn down bad street lights as the wickets. Had a cul-de-sac in the middle where the big kids.
And Sid's a great artist, you know, same with Sir T. They're both great artists, great writers, and they brought honesty, you know, and vulnerability as well to the waiata, and it definitely connected the dots because, you know, like I say, bro, it transcends Flaxby. It's every neighborhood has a hood. So yeah, that definitely made it a lot louder, feeling that it carries in the wairua. That's most important, and that's what I think makes a great waiata, is that every time you hear that, it does something to your ngākau, you know, whether it's the remix or the original. Music should do that, and that's the kind of music I want to make.
And speaking of journey, you've made a physical journey yourself, relocating from the Bay here to beautiful Whitianga. How did that come about, bro?
Change, bro. Yeah, I think when you get comfortable, you get lazy. I know I do. If I get comfortable, I'm like, you know, do it tomorrow. I definitely think the whānau are ready for a challenge. I never even knew about Whitianga, that it even existed. There was a mahi opportunity here. You just have a look at this place. It's paradise, bro. You know, we live in paradise here.
And you've done that with a new tune, Kupe?
Yeah,
bro.
Kupe.
Yeah, tell me about that song.
Kupe is probably, I believe, should be as well known as Maui. You know, because everyone knows about Maui, well, obviously with the moana and all of that, but Maui was already a celebrated tupuna. But Kupe just as much, because I feel that, because, you know, Maui is, you know, Ariki. Kupe is Ariki as well, but he was a man, you know, that actually set foot on this place and discovered Aotearoa, you know, and for me, as a songwriter, I was like, this is a kaupapa I need to follow up. I need to shed light. And I was walking on the beach here in Whitianga with my kids, and I came across a river called Tapu Tapu Wātea. And I've never ever heard that outside of Tahiti, you know, and I'm like, Tapu Tapu Wātea? Like, you know, obviously my kids are like, what are you talking about there? And I was like, hey, I need to find the local, you know, iwi here or representative and just ask them, give them some pātai. Then I found out the name of this place, Te Whitianga Kupe, or some call it Te Whitianga Nuia Kupe or Kupe's Crossing. So Kupe's name is everywhere here. And that was, you know, I started just noticing, far out, man, everything's named after Kupe. But it was sparked from whakapapa. It was tupuna driven, kaupapa driven, and all of those things are bigger than me. You know, they're bigger than all of us. So it was me just kind of tapping into that and just really bringing that to the now. In another 100 years' time, we will. You know, when a dusty frame on the wall in our whare nui, I can say, yeah, man, our kids will have they'll be able to link, you know, through hip-hop. And then obviously dive a little bit deeper and, you know, discover who they are and their connection to the place. So that's what it's about for me. What's the word? Legacy. Eh?
Legacy.
Yeah. It's a flash word. But whakapapa, I reckon, is the meanest word, you know, because it's linking all those things together. Yeah, and I'm blessed, man. Like, I'm totally blessed and grateful for that superpower. If I can contribute my part to that and the touring and new music, I'm always making music. So now the bar's been set a lot higher, so you know how it is here. So I think we just ought to keep pushing ourselves, you know, keep moving and keep growing. You got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, hey, because that's where you grow the most. So something Mickey like that, bro.
Beautiful, brother. Me? Does us? Trust, bro. Me.